Hello everybody, welcome back to another Conversations with Projektor. Today we only have one topic, which is some of the things that I think about as a YouTuber. Before I go, you can contribute topics for this series on my Discord server.
To be honest, when it comes to today, I'm a little bit low on energy now. I can feel me lacking a little bit in this last, I guess, half hour. You can probably tell also from just the stream how it's been the last half hour. I didn't really have a plan for this stream. I was just going to be messing around. And I guess one of the things that I've learned is that is not a good approach when you're trying to be entertaining. Yeah, I had planned out like up until like this point over here. Maybe mess around a little bit, chat with the people, that kind of stuff. But now I don't really know. I do have to keep some of my energy because I still have to record shorts tonight. Otherwise tomorrow you guys don't have any content. I have to record shorts. I have to edit long form videos, 4 of them. And then I of course also have to edit the shorts. So I have loads of things to do. And I'm already tired. This is going to be a fun evening. I don't know. I wanted to stream this week. I had promised many times that I wanted to like check in between when it comes to streaming. Doing stuff other than just the feedback stream on the Sunday evening. But every time I do, I guess I run into my own issues with the timing and everything that I have planned out. I had planned out for today to record the shorts during the time that I streamed now, but I was like, you know what, I'm feeling high energy today. I think I can make it so that I can stream and then record the shorts in the evening. But that's always a little bit of a hammer, or it's I'm out of energy. You can tell, right? You can see that at some point it's just like over, I guess. I saw humor and that put hammer in my head for some reason, and then even the talking just completely stops. But yeah, I thought that like filming shorts after the stream would be okay. And I think it will be, right? But it's not going to be as fun as it normally is. And normally I plan it in, I plan stuff like this in very far in advance so that I can prepare for this kind of stuff. I feel like you may have become the king of shorts, lol. Now that I'm doing 2 of them a day, I do think, yeah, it gets to the point where you get to be really good at making shorts. It still could be better. I could have a better approach to the way that I'm filming things, in the consistency of where I show things and how I show things and how I zoom into things and how I edit things and that kind of stuff. It's, I guess part of that is just me being not very organized in that kind of way. Like I don't have a checklist for shorts, for example. Right, when it comes to shorts, ideally what you would want is you want to have the same format every time. But sometimes I play the sound at the beginning, sometimes I play the sound at the end, sometimes I explain the whole sound, how to make it, sometimes I explain a neat little trick and dive into a detail on that trick. It partially has to do with what I just feel like talking about the day that I record them. But when it comes to like shorts, I don't record every day for shorts, right? I record 20 of them at the same time. Every 5 of them I switch t-shirts, and then I just post them for the next, in this case 10 days, but then usually that's like 20 days worth of shorts. So normally I maybe record once every 2-3 weeks for shorts. But now that I'm doing double shorts, it's of course half the time. I don't think I can continue doing that. I can imagine it might be pretty hard getting the point across with short time frames. Yes, it is. It is very hard. Especially if at the end of the recording process or at the end of the edit, you have this really cool short that you're really happy with, all of the points that you made, and then you get to the final cut and the final cut says 1 minute 10 seconds. That's when you start hating yourself. Then you have all of the things that you wanted to say and now you have to start cutting into your own explanation. And you have to say, okay, what is the important bit about the explanation? What are the like slight tangents that I'm maybe running into? What are the parts that where I explain something double, for example? What are the parts where the explanation is technically important, but if I cut this part of the explanation, the flow of the short is still there? There's a lot that goes into it. Me too slow for that. Recording short, it's yeah, you have to be fast. I'm also, I guess when it comes to recording, I'm a bit of a fast speaker, which sometimes means that I'm not very clear when I'm speaking. I guess I am very clear now when I'm speaking during the stream when it comes to this stuff, because I'm a little bit more relaxed and I have a little bit more time. But when you're recording shorts, you are acutely aware of the fact that everything that you want to say has to fit within a minute. So you're just naturally going to speak a little bit faster like this, where you just, want to make sure that everything goes in there and that you have the explanations. And then, of course, a lot of my shorts rely on the intro, where parts of what makes the intro funny is the fact that, okay, somebody says like, hey, do you want to see this cool thing that I found? And then I respond with nope, and that I immediately roll into it and, ramble on from there. That's the bit. That's the funny part about it. It's the at some point people get, I guess, the idea of the short, like, hey, he takes an intro and then it is him coming up. But it's always, I guess, the funny bit that makes every short unique is how do I take the material that I have in the intro and how do I, quickly transition into sound design teaching stuff. You're quite clear in your shorts as well, in my honest opinion. Oh, I mean, I've had some people tell me. Speaking about what some people tell me, I forgot. I wanted to show this earlier. I had this poll over here, which is in regards to the shorts, actually, in regards to the older shorts. Like if older shorts come back and you see them on your timeline, do you watch them? And if so, or do you not watch them because either you have already seen them or the quality is too low? I kind of don't like these results that I'm seeing over here, because it feels like sometimes people fill in these, like they don't want to say to my face like, oh no, I don't watch your stuff. Oh no, I don't watch your stuff because the quality is too low. Right? They don't want to say that to your face. I get a few percentages here, but now I'm starting to doubt, like, is this a real percentage or is this just people not trying to vote for this one and then they'll go, oh, this seems to be a little bit less offensive and this seems to be a little bit less offensive. I don't know. The other thing that I posted is this over here. This is a post where I ask you guys for feedback. Please consider going into this post and just giving me some feedback. Anything you want, regards to stream, regards to long format videos, regards to short format videos, regards to the second channel that I'm uploading to, the also Projektor channel. For those that don't know, this is where Conversations with Projektor has moved to, a series that not really a lot of people like, and as you can see, it isn't doing particularly well in terms of views. Like, it's not really worth it to do this, but I'm just going to try it for maybe 20, 30 more and see if there's maybe like a few videos that come out that do really well. And if that's the case, I'll continue doing this. Otherwise, it's not worth the effort, and then I'll just cancel the series and whatever. I mean, I still have the streams, so it's not that I'm losing content this way. Yeah, the community stuff is not really seen by every sub. YouTube tends to only show that on the main page and only a few when you scroll. Exactly. This stuff, the main people that respond to this stuff, and not even this stuff, but the normal posts that I do whenever a video comes out, right? Every time a video comes out the day before, I have a post that talks about the title, talks about how long it is. I give a little message in front of it, and then it gives you the description so that people can see, oh, here, this is what is coming up next. I'm 90% sure that this is only likes from people scrolling by their subscription feed, because that's the only way that I can imagine people actually interacting with these posts. I get them very rarely, my own post on my phone. On my phone, I have a different account when it comes to like YouTube and Google and stuff. So on my phone, I don't actually am logged into the Projektor channel. So I get all of my own recommendations. I'm essentially my own viewer on my phone. I think at this point, YouTube knows that I am also the same person, and they don't really count your views at that point and stuff like that. But I get my own community posts sometimes when I'm scrolling like the main suggestions feed. But like most of the time, I also see this in my own subscription feed. And then I realize, oh, hey, wait, tomorrow there's a video coming out. Oh, yeah. Because I schedule stuff in advance. I schedule stuff all the time. Right now, I don't have anything scheduled, but normally there's like 2-3 videos at least that are scheduled to come out later. So I'm always a little bit behind on when stuff comes out for my own channel. So sometimes I see a post like, hey, that video is coming out tomorrow. Oh, okay, perfect. How do you do so much? Yeah, I have a lot of time to spend, of course. I basically sit here the whole day and work on this kind of stuff. The second thing is that there's passion involved. I really like doing the things that I like, or doing the things that I do. At the end of the day, if you have a passion for something and you want to make that work, you're willing to sacrifice a lot more than if you're working for somebody else. If you are working at a company that is somebody else's passion, right? That your boss or the company owner or whatever, they might work really hard, but for you, if you work 8 hours a day or you work 10 hours a day, they're still at the end of the day going to say like, hey, you have a contract for 8 hours. That is what you're going to get paid. So you're not really incentivized to do more than your competitor or do more than your coworker or whatever. But I'm constantly incentivized to do that. In fact, the only way that you're surviving here on YouTube is by doing more than your competition, by being more on your mind than all of the other YouTubers that are out there in the world. You guys chose to watch me today as opposed to the other person that is live streaming, or as opposed to that other recommendation that you got in your subscription box, or as opposed to that other short that you could be watching onto the short feed. You guys saw my short. So by constantly being relevant, by constantly putting out new content, and by doing more and more and more, you're going to get a greater benefit in theory. Now, this is not something that I noticed being real in practice, because I did the thing with the advertisement that kind of ruined my channel for a good month here. But even though I was like posting 2 shorts, I wasn't getting like more views than I would normally was. I was in fact getting less. If I go here to my total views over the last 90 days, you can see that I was growing hard up until basically this point over here. And then it dipped down again back to where it was before in February. And this is a trend on my channel. I've talked about this before. My channel does nothing other than go up, and I'm like really happy, and I'm like, yay, it's great, it's amazing, yay, 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 and then it just drops, and it goes back to where I was, right? It goes to 2000 again over here, and then this is the day that I'm like, oh shit, and then it starts growing, and I'm like, yay, I'm finally through it. This time the growth is for real. This time the growth is staying, bam. And then here, this time it's for real. This time it's slower. It's more systematic. I'm actually making changes to the content. So this time it has to be good. It has to be good. And then bam, it just drops again. And then yesterday it was, I guess, the start again of the growth. It started going again. I had a short again, like kind of popping off, which is usually an indication that things are going to go well. But at some point, I know that it's gonna go down again, I guess. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to avoid that. So that's why I'm working hard. Is I want that growth to sustain, so that, you know, I can make a little bit more money, maybe invest a little bit more into my music career, that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, me working harder has a tangible benefit in that I just get more money, which is not a lot of jobs where that's actually the case. I reached my goal, 100 subs, was not expecting 1,000 anytime soon. Congrats, that's very cool. And you only stream, right? Or do you also do videos? There are some videos. I guess this is the music you make. You don't really do tutorials like I do. Right? Yeah, no. I mean, when it comes to only streaming, getting to 100 subscribers is a lot harder than doing it through video. A live stream gets pushed out by YouTube way less than YouTube videos. So it's a miracle that you actually get to where you are. Tutorials not really, but it's included in the stream. What you could consider doing, just as a test, is just taking the stream clips. And if you're good at speaking, it doesn't even take a lot of editing to do this. Unlike me for the conversations with Projektor, where I have to cut every 30 seconds to make it watchable and all of that stuff. But if you're good at speaking, you just take the interesting bits of your stream and upload those as clips, as little videos. And that way, those are actually spreading your stream to new people, because streams themselves don't really get recommended to people. You don't even have to record, you already have the stream. That's the whole fun of the stream. It's content twice. That's what's going to happen to this stream as well. I'm going to take this stream. Once I hit the stop streaming button, I'm going to go into my downloader, my like YouTube downloader. I'm going to wait for the stream to be processed and fully finalized. And once that is done, I'll download it locally onto my computer, and then I'll edit it down into conversations with Projektor. All of this stuff that I'm talking about now and that I'm making now in terms of content is going to become content another time. You can just recycle that kind of stuff and get more content out of it. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be people that don't watch your stream but are still interested in the content within it. You can essentially target those people. You can take your stream, take all of the interesting bits out of it, take all of the interesting parts out of it, and then you just upload those as individual clips, as individual videos. Sometimes maybe you need to give a little bit of context or whatever. But from there, you build up essentially a easy way to market your stream without actually having to live stream that way. Because your stream, for once, as I said, it doesn't get a lot of impressions, but two, it only gets impressions when you're live, right? Your stream isn't promoting you if you're not really live streaming. People tend to be hesitant to watch a 5-hour stream of something if it's not live. I stream a lot, or not a lot, I stream once a week, but I have streamed a lot. Most of the views that I get on my stream are during the stream itself. Even though if you look at my latest or my oldest streams that happened 2 years ago, there has been a massive amount of time that people could have potentially watched that stream. But it's slow content, it's a live stream, so people know like, hey, this is a live stream, this isn't really the kind of content that I would want to watch. A live stream is interesting partially because it's live, partially because you get to type in the chat and you get to ask me questions and I get to respond to that, and if something happens, you're kind of part of that feeling as well. Of course, my live stream isn't, I talked about this before, my live stream isn't exciting, it is more informative. But if there's an exciting live stream on there, say somebody's playing a game and say speedrunning, right? The speedrunning community, if somebody is on a very good run and, you know, the chat gets hyped up and people start cheering them on, all of that, people get to be part of this kind of event, right? It's the runner, the streamer that is doing the run, that is doing the speedrun. Speedrunning, by the way, for those that don't know, is finishing games really quickly. If they get a good run, if they're on the world record pace, or they get like a PB pace or something like that, you can see the whole chat is like, oh, waiting, and then finally he finishes the game, and then they check the time, they have to like time it properly, and then the hype comes or the hype doesn't come. And you're part of an event that way. Whereas with my stream, there's maybe like interesting bits out of it. It's not really an event. Like if we sit down for feedback, it's not like we're building up to a crescendo, right? Where suddenly, oh, everything pays off. It's just sitting there, chilling, listening to music. And sometimes you have the case of like, hey, this is some really cool music coming by. I guess that's kind of the same effect. I think that is one of the reasons why my feedback stream is also more watched than my normal streams. Because it does have that element, at least a little bit of, hey, something cool could happen, in the sense that there could be a cool song that could play that you would otherwise miss.
I like seeing the process. As a new producer, it helps as much as a tutorial, if not more.
I guess, yeah. That's, I guess, more individuals. A lot of viewers tend to think about the whole YouTube game, about the whole YouTube system in individual ideas. I like doing this because I like seeing the process. Not saying that this is a negative thing, but most viewers think about it from an individualistic thing. A lot of the comments that I got on those posts that I referenced before, or that I showed before, where I ask for feedback, is I would like you to make a video about X. I would like you to make a video about this topic, right? When it comes to my interest in YouTube, I am almost purely interested in the collective. Everybody watching me. Because I am at the point in size where I cannot really interact with everyone, right? If I had to sit down and have a chat with every one of my viewers, that would take me a lot of time. If I had to try to find out what the best topic is to cover in the next video, let's say, if I needed to find that out, it would be really hard for me to sit down with each of my 16,300, whatever it is, amount of subscribers, and ask them. I have to, the difference between when I get like feedback from you guys about my YouTube channel, or when I'm talking to you guys in the stream chat about my YouTube channel, is something very interesting that I always see, in that all of the indications and responses that I get from you guys tend to be fairly individualistic about, oh, I like this, I like it when you do that, I like it when this happens, I like it when that happens. And that is natural, right? And that is also why I ask for feedback, is because I want to hear your voices. But I'm not really interested in what the individual thinks. So a lot of feedback I kind of have to throw away immediately, just by the virtue of it. I know that it conflicts with the data that I have. Say, for example, a good example is a lot of people comment on my shorts is that they would like to hear the sound immediately at the beginning of the short. What that means in a practical sense is that people start watching the short, they get to the sound plays, they're like, I'm not interested in this sound, I don't want to make this sound, and then they skip. And I can see that in my viewers. I can see that whenever I play the sound in the beginning, I sometimes still do it because I still want to please those people as well that do want to have it in the beginning. but I can see that every time that I do it, the viewer retention is lower. People just scroll away earlier because they're not interested in the actual sound that you make. If you keep the actual sound that you're making a secret, and you say, okay, you're going to set this parameter like that parameter like that parameter like that, yada, 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 and you get at second 55 and then you play the sound, people have to wait throughout the whole short to actually hear what you're doing, and therefore they stay longer. So there's like feedback that is conflicting with what I'm actually like seeing in the data.
Martin Sturzer stopped with live streams and instead he does a premiere of a pre-recorded live set and he chats with his viewers.
He uses, I guess he goes live through the premiere mode in the sense that he's just in the chat there. To be honest, I don't do a lot of premieres. I should do more, because that's another way that I get to interact with people. That being said, also premieres, they tend to not be the best for long-term video performance. They get more people in the door in the first hour when the premiere is actually going live. But it tends to be the case that after the premiere, the graph becomes more like this. Whereas normally your video goes up like that. It's not exactly a straight line, it tapers off a little bit, but it's almost like a straighter line. Whereas the premiere videos, you can see that during the premiere, everybody comes in, everybody watches, then it tapers off as all of your viewers have already seen it in the premiere, and then slowly it starts to pick up again.
Nowadays people's attention spans are even shorter than shorts.
Fun thing, what I've heard about attention spans. An attention span in and of itself doesn't really exist. I don't know if I have the paper on hand. Probably if I Google it, I will find it. What I wanted to look at was a study performed somewhere in Thailand. And there, what they essentially said is that like there's no such thing as a real attention span. Yes, it may seem that people are paying less attention to stuff that is happening with shorts, because shorts are shorter. But the professor said like this: if you had to stare at a wall, just like an empty wall, imagine an empty white wall that you have to stare at. Think about how long you could keep that up while being interested. You're probably going to have 0 seconds attention span there. There's nothing interesting in there. And what is happening is that the demand for interest, or the speed at which things stay interesting is rising. Not so much the attention span itself of people not being able to pay attention, because there are still people my age and younger that can do something like a continuous action for hours and hours and hours. So it's not like everybody's attention span is just lowering. It's that their satisfaction for content requires a type of content that is much faster in its form of entertainment. It's like slightly different, but it's sometimes interesting to hear these kind of things. I like these discussions and this kind of talk as well.
I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know if you did by leaving a like and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Another way to support this channel is by watching some more of its content, so there will be 2 videos up on the screen for you to choose from. So just pick one and enjoy, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.